Hello everyone. In this video, we are going over round one in the Digital Marketing Simternship. Now in this simulation, you will be playing the digital marketer for Bowie Supply Co., which sells bags, duffels, and messengers. So you'll be given all of this information in your simulation, and you will have everything you need to know about each product. Now, when it comes to selling products, you want to think about who are your customers, and you'll be given that information as well. So that will be in your customer personas. And you'll want to be very familiar with each of these items. And you can see on the last bullet point of each that they give you a clue about who they or what they are interested in. So for example, back to school Mindy needs a backpack. So you'll want to target backpacks for her. Up and comer Raj needs a messenger bag. So you'll probably want to be targeting him with a messenger bag and so forth. And then you'll also want to look clearly at what they value, what is their interest, what are their demographics, because this is going to help you target them in your campaigns. Now, remember, this video is about round one. Rounds 1 through 3 are all about search ad campaigns. If you don't remember or know what a search ad campaign is, let's take a quick look at that. So your customers of Bowie Supply Co. have a problem. And where do they turn to? They go to a search engine. So they type in what they're looking for. For example, back to school Mindy might be wanting 4 backpacks for school. So she types that in and she presses go. This will bring her to the search engine results page, or the SERP. She'll see a lot of search results that are organic below the ads, but she might see at the top something that catches her eyes. So if you write these ads in a way that makes some sort of value proposition stand out for her, then she might be enticed to click on an ad. So if she thinks, ooh, trendy school backpacks, that's something for me, then she'll click on it and it will take her to a landing page. This is what you're going to be creating in round one. You're going to come up with keywords that you think your target persona may be typing out. You're going to be creating a search ad that you think your persona will be willing to click on. And you'll also be designing a landing page that your persona will be enticed to buy now. So you want to make sure that all of the keywords, all of the value propositions, and everything is aligned in those 3 things. And if you think about a search campaign, this is the way it is structured. So we have our account, which is Bowie Supply Co. We're going to be creating several different campaigns in this simulation. As I said, rounds 1 through 3 are all search campaigns. So that's kind of what we're doing here. We're going to have first our backpack in round 1. Then we're going to add in our duffel and our messenger in the subsequent rounds. And then later on, we'll also be going through display ads and shopping ads. In your campaigns, you'll want to be adding in ad groups. Your ad groups have to do with the chosen persona or topic areas that you're interested in selling. So the backpack may be having a persona who's interested in it for school, or they're interested in it for work, or they're interested in travel, and so forth. And then for each, you'll be trying to create search ads that are related to keywords. So let's jump in to round 1, where we're going to be creating a search ad campaign for backpacks. Okay, so this is how our round 1 is going to look in the simulation. And you'll start off here where you see the scenario. So you'll want to watch that video, and then you'll want to follow all of these steps. So our first step, of course, is to kind of go through this list all the way down. So you can read this inbox message from your manager, and you'll want to test out your understanding of key terms in the notifications hub. So you can figure out, what is the difference between SEO and paid search? How can you determine what is the best way to find keywords, and how can you determine, how to select the best keywords and so forth. So go through these on your own and determine your best understanding of PPC and search ads. And then once you're ready, you can get started with your keyword research and planning. Watch the video and read the instructions. What you want to do before you start searching for any keywords is look at your resources. So as I mentioned, our first round is going to be about the American Dream backpack. So you've been given information about this backpack, such as feedback, right? You can see some keywords. This backpack is functional, sturdy, and stylish. This backpack is great for looking professional or perfect for work, school, and play, and so forth. So you want to write all this down and kind of synthesize this information because it's going to help you determine what customer profile to target. Now, I told you the best kind of keyword or hint about these customer profiles is to look at what the persona said they're needing. So back to school Mindy needs a backpack, so she might be a good contender. City Hopper Sue needs luggage or a backpack, so she might be okay. Up and comer Raj is looking for a messenger bag, so we're probably going to skip on him and put him in for our next round where we look at messenger bags. Energetic Jill needs a messenger or duffel bag, so we don't want to look at her. Seaside Sally needs a messenger bag or tote, so not really best here either. Daypacker Tom needs a backpack, and Hipster Mom Cami needs a backpack. So it looks like we have, out of all these personas, Hipster Mom Cami, Daypacker Tom, and City Hopper Sue, and Back to School Mindy. So 4 possible customer profiles. We want to narrow it down though, so that it's a more manageable campaign. Of course, you could try and go and target all of them, but we could start off smaller and see who we think out of our customers are most likely to be profitable or helpful. And the way we can determine that is by looking at our buoy traffic and sales data. So, for example, we've been given information about traffic by gender. We noticed that our website's traffic is generated more by females. We can see that sales are most likely coming from non-parents and that sales are also coming more from females. And we can also determine that sales are coming in 2 different age groups primarily. So based on that information, I can already sort of rule out Hipster Mom Cami because she's not in our age group. She's 33 to 42 and she's also a parent. So there's kind of 2 things going against her here as far as our best traffic and sales in the past. So I might rule her out. I definitely think Back to School Mindy is a good one to target because she's right in our number 1 sales by age group. She also is most likely not a parent since she's, it doesn't say she's a parent. And she's female. So we had sales by gender was higher here. City Hopper Sue may also be a good contender, but I'm thinking as well, based on what the backpack was about for work and play and looking professional and adventure, I was thinking that his keywords really matched up. So although he's not going to be our majority sales, he is in a good age group, the 25 to 34, which matches him. So once I've determined who my personas are, that's going to help me decide what keywords that are going to matter for me. So I'm going to want to think about what are keywords that Mindy might enter into Google when she thinks she needs a backpack, right? So I'm going to look at the keywords of convenient, comfortable, stylish. She wants a backpack that can carry all her stuff, right? She's probably wanting a backpack for school, especially since she's called Back to School Mindy. So maybe a backpack for studying. Okay, so I'm going to write down all of kind of my keywords that I think are possible for her. And I'm going to go into the keyword research and planning tool. So I might look up best college. Maybe I say best. Let's start with stylish backpacks. Okay, so I see stylish backpacks. And I could select anything that I think will be useful for her. So stylish laptop backpacks. Maybe she has a laptop for school. She is a woman, so I can put that in there. And anything that I think might be useful to her, I'm going to select it for my initial stage. And then once I've found some keywords I'm interested in, I can say add selected keywords to list. And I'll want to name this list for her. So I'm going to call it backpack school Mindy and create list and then confirm. And so now I'm starting to build out a list. Now, what I don't want to do is find just random vague, keywords that are not really specific to my persona. So I don't want to just say backpack because, if I did backpack and I said exact match, backpack is going to apply to all of my personas. And if you look at your inbox, one of the tips that your boss gave you was that you should not have the same keyword in two different ad groups. And basically, these lists that we're creating are going to go into our ad groups. So I want to make sure that the keywords I choose are specific to each of my personas. Okay, so my other persona that I was thinking of using, as I said, was Daypacker Tom. So he was interested in camping. So I might, for example, say camping backpack. And I select that and I'll create a list for him. So I have my two lists. So I'll say backpack and adventure Tom. And so then I have two that I can add to. So here I'm going to continue with Mindy and perhaps like move on to comfortable backpack. And so I see, I don't want to do hiking for her because that's going to be Tom. So I'll say most comfortable backpack. It is a drawstring backpack. I can see that here where it says drawstring. So perhaps that could be useful. We'll have to test it. And maybe comfortable laptop backpack. So I'll add those to hers. Again, I don't want to select both. I just want to add it to the one that I'm targeting. So I'll add those to hers. And maybe I do stylish backpacks for women. Did I already do that one? Yes. Maybe I can do cute backpacks. So cute backpacks for school, cute backpacks for college, anything that I think that she might type out for her own solution to get a backpack. Maybe I do trendy backpack. So trendy backpacks. She's looking for college, so I'm going to add this for college. Maybe I could do school backpack and check what I have. So women's school backpack. Maybe I can look at colors. So this comes in black. So maybe she likes black. So I'm going to check that one out too. I can say, what would she be interested in? Maybe just school backpack. Perhaps designer backpacks because that's stylish. She did have a lower average income, but she may still put it in there as an interest. And maybe nice backpacks for school. And whatever I think that she'll be interested in. So you'll see that there's a lot of choices and you'll want to select anything that you think is going to be interesting for your target persona. So maybe back to school backpack sale, because she had a lower income, she might look for a sale. Maybe she's looking for, I'm not going to say girls because her age is not really girl. That might be for the mommy school one. So I want to make sure I'm very focused on my persona. Computer backpacks for school. I'm not sure if that's relevant. So I'm going to add these. Maybe another one could be best affordable backpack because she, as I said, didn't have, we can see that from her persona that she is below average disposable income. So affordable backpack. These might be useful for her. And maybe college backpack. So college backpacks. And so all of these seem pretty relevant for her. So I'm going to add those in. And it looks like I have a big list for Mindy. It might be too big, but I'm going to start off with this list and I can always adjust it as needed. But also you can go in and you can look at what it says up here on how to select keywords. So perhaps you see there's one that has not enough competition or not enough, average monthly searches or too much competition, too much searches, and you can adjust it based on that. But I'm just going to start with my keywords that I think Mindy might be most attuned to. And let's continue with Tom. So remember, he was interested in camping. So I started off with camping. Maybe he's also interested in hiking. So hiking backpack. I'm gonna stick with backpacks. I don't want to do for women because he's male, so I want to keep with my persona. Best hiking backpack. Travel, hiking backpack, anything that he thinks. Hiking backpack sale. Remember his, if we look at him, he's average disposable income, so he might like a sale as well. Because he is looking for a good, so maybe best budget hiking. Well, it's day pack. I want to focus on backpacks. So I'm gonna look best cheap hiking backpack. Maybe outdoor hiking backpack. Hiking backpack essentials. And I'll just keep kind of clicking through. For maybe he needs a laptop compartment because he uses it for work. Maybe a lightweight one. Drawstring was one of the components of the backpack, so that might work too. And so I'll just keep clicking anything that I think might work for Tom. So I'll add those in to Tom's list. Maybe I might want to look for that he wanted, what did I say? A durable backpack. So most durable. This was one of the keywords he had. So I don't want to do college because he's not in college. So I want to keep it focused on what he is doing. Maybe I'll do work backpack. So men's backpacks for work. Maybe I do for work and travel. Maybe he does some travel with his adventures. Maybe I look for professional travel. So you'll just keep looking through all of these and try and find anything that is relevant for your persona. And you'll see that there's a lot of options. So you'll click in there. And you don't want to choose something that is, not going to end up with a sale. So you want to try and think of things that they were looking for. So maybe backpack with lots of space because he said he wanted space. He was looking for that. So backpack with lots of space. Do I see one like that? Maybe not. I thought I saw one last time. But I'll just keep looking for anything that I think might be helpful for this persona. And so I'll just add these in. Looks like I have enough now, so I'm just going to add these in. And once I have those, then I'm going to want to create a landing page for this persona, right? So I'm starting off with my campaign, which is for the American Dream backpack. I'm thinking about what keywords somebody might type into Google when they're looking for a solution, which my solution is the backpack. And then when they click on an ad, where will they land? So I'm going to come up with how I can design this landing page. So I want to think about what title, I want to think about a meta description. Remember, one of my keywords for Mindy was that I was going to create a black backpack, so I might want to put that as black and so forth. So I want to make this the best that I can where it matches and aligns with the keywords that I've chosen. So when you're designing your landing page, you have a few options. In the page title, you want this to be useful for both of your personas. So I don't want it to be youth because remember, I'm targeting back to school Mindy and day packer Tom. So I think that the best one for both of them might be Adventure Pro because day packer Tom is looking for something with some adventure and Pro is kind of working. So it's kind of fitting a little bit of both of them. Or you might want to do just Buoy American Dream Backpack in case you don't think that back to school Mindy would be wanting to click on that. So you want to find something that both of your personas will want to click on. So I'm going to try this one, but I might be wrong. It might be better to choose this one. You'll have to check and see how your landing page ends up in the results. So I click on that and I see my search preview here. Then I want to click on a meta description that I think both of my personas are going to want to click on. So I was thinking designed for students and professionals to help you succeed in all your daily endeavors. This one might be a good one. Or they might be interested in a backpack as versatile as you are, price match guarantee, limited lifetime warranty, especially considering back to school Mindy has a below average disposable income. And we know that day packer Tom was looking for some versatility because he wants to do both backpacking, hiking, camping, work, and his adventures. But I think here, designed for students and professionals will be a good one in all daily endeavors. So we'll try that one because we have a bit of adventure, we have a bit of students, we have a bit of professionals. So we have everything for our two personas. Then we can choose our title for the landing page. So choose whatever you think makes sense for your persona. I'm going to try American Dream Backpack here. And then you're going to create or write a product description. And in this case, I'm going to tell you a tip might be to use ChatGPT as a tool in this. So I've already prepared a prompt. And the way I've prepared this prompt is telling ChatGPT that I need their help with a landing page design for a search ad campaign for my company, Buoy. I've provided them with information about the product. So I went in and I copied everything about the product and pasted that in. I also told ChatGPT that I'm targeting two personas. So I copied in the information about each of these personas. And I also copied the keywords that I've chosen for my personas. So I went into my keyword planner and I selected everything here and I just copied it like this and I pasted it in. And then I said at the end, after reading the above information, I need you to help me write several different product description options to choose from for my landing page. Each description should be written for both personas, so make it a blended value proposition that would be enticing for both, and make sure that you include as many keywords as you can from my list that I gave you that match those chosen from each ad group. Do not use the persona names in the description. So I'm going to put that into ChatGPT And I'm going to get some ideas and inspiration for how I can write my description. And so here they start to give me some ideas. So for example, discover the backpack that's making waves from college campuses to hiking trails, perhaps. Your search for the best hiking backpack with style ends here. Hike, work, study, repeat. So I don't want to have it too much where it feels like one persona over the other. I'm looking for a perfect blend. Whether you're a student needing a functional and cute backpack for college, or an adventurer searching for a durable hiking backpack, the American dream has got you covered. So I can ask ChatGPT, give me more ideas, please. And so I can see lots of different ideas for what I could put into my description. And then choose, what I think is the best. So I'm going to kind of do this, have a conversation with ChatGPT and choose one that I think might be best. Maybe I've chosen one previously, and I'll go ahead and put that into my landing page activity. Experience the fusion of style and functionality, designed for students, professionals, and adventurers. And then I want to click a call to action button. And so you'll want to decide what you think is going to be best for your target personas. And you'll choose a benefit that you think they will desire. So since I'm targeting personas that don't have a lot of money, I think free shipping will be enticing. I also think that they will be looking for the perfect adventure bag. And since a lot of my keywords had to do with laptops, I might want to choose laptop, but I also want to make sure that I'm going to focus on what they were searching for. And I think both of them said that they wanted enough space. So he was valuing space. And she was also valuing enough space that she can carry all of her school supplies and essentials. So I'm torn between these two, and I might choose space for all the essentials for now and decide to change it later. And then I also want to decide what features to highlight. So here, I definitely might want to choose the one that has the laptop sleeve. And I know that Back to School Mindy was valuing comfortable, so I might choose this one where it says comfortable, and the laptop sleeve waterproof might be interesting for Tom, so I click that in there. And I can see kind of some ideas about what is on the reviews. And so when somebody clicks on my ad, this is where they'll be taken. This is the landing page that they're going to be given. Then in my next step, I'm going to start my campaign. So watch the video and then you will click Add New Campaign to get started on your campaign. So to start a new campaign, I'm going to go ahead and click on Add New Campaign. And when I'm creating my campaign goal, or if you recall from the instructions for this round, we were trying to have more clicks. Okay, so website traffic will be our goal here. And we're going to also want to create a name that's going to be memorable, because in the coming rounds, we're going to be creating way more campaigns than this. So as I said, there were 3 different products mainly that we're going to be focusing on. In this round, we're doing the backpack. And we're also doing a search campaign right now. So I'm going to call it backpack search. That way, when I come into my next rounds, I know what campaign this was for. When I'm trying to come up with my daily budget, this is best done by remembering our monthly budget was 1,200, and then there's about 30 days in a month. So if you divide 1,200 by 30, you get 40. So you can put that as your daily budget. For the default CPC, we're going to do this manually when we get to our keywords. So you can just keep this at $1 for now, and that will be adjusted when we go in and do our next step. So I'm going to keep that at $1 for now and continue. And if you recall, we decided that we're going to be targeting two different personas. We were doing Daypacker Tom and we were doing Back to School Mindy. So we've selected two different sets of keywords for each of those personas. So I'm going to start with one of them and I'll do backpack, school, Mindy. Okay, so that was my ad group name. Again, I'll just do the default CPC here at 1, but that's going to be done manually when I get to her section. And for Mindy, I'm going to select the keywords that I've chosen. Okay, so right now I have way more keywords than I actually need to do. It may be even better for me to only select a few that I think are more relevant for her. But for now, I'll just go ahead and do all of them for the purpose of showing you what comes out in our analysis so you can see what keywords might not have been as effective and which ones were more effective than others. You may want to look at the average monthly searches again, see that it's actually something that people are searching for, that there is low, medium, or high competition for, and something that's going to go and align with your budget, that you're not spending too high. Okay, so for now, as I said, I'm going to click all of them, click next. And here's where I told you that we can do some manual adjustments for our bidding. Okay, so the default CPC was all set at $1. But if we want to make sure that our quality score is high and we have a good bid, we want to go a few cents over the bid. So here I could do, 111 and 2.07 and so forth. So I'm going to make sure that if I get these bids, I'm not overspending, I'm not underspending, I'm going a few cents over this suggested bid. And that way I'm more likely to win these keywords. And you'll see that in our results. So I'll go through, kind of put something for each of these rather than leaving it at the default, because I want to make sure that I win these bids if they're relevant for my personas. And so kind of go through, maybe keep that at $1 there. And continue. Until I've done one for each of my keywords, okay? And then I'll click continue. And here I'm creating my search ad for those keywords. So when somebody goes in and clicks on all of these, they type in these keywords into Google, and if it goes into the auction and it's won and it's going to be served to the consumer or the searcher, then they click on it, then what's going to happen is they'll see a search ad in the SERP result, the search engine results page. So my final URL, remember I created a landing page for the American Dream backpack, so I'm going to choose that as my URL. And I want to create an ad for Back to School Mindy. So perhaps I do something like college and stylish backpacks or stylish backpack, okay? And then I try to create some headlines that are relevant to the keywords that I use. So maybe elevate your school style with buoy, or elevate your school style. Padded laptop sleeve for comfort, or maybe comfortable padded laptop sleeve, or comfortable padded straps. So I come up with something that related to the keywords that I had selected. So maybe trendy designs for students, or trendy backpacks for students. Okay, and then I put in some description options, maybe affordable backpacks, because I had that in some of my keywords, maybe stylish backpacks. Remember I said something like black, so maybe stylish black backpacks, and stylish black backpacks for students. I have that as my description, and see how that works. And then I press continue. And you'll see that in my ad groups, I now have Back to School Mindy. And in my keywords, I've already put in some keywords and bids. And in my search ads, I now have in the campaign backpack search, this ad preview with this ad group. And so I don't only want to have one ad, I also want to create another ad because maybe this one isn't going to be as successful. So I can go back in to the ad group section for Back to School Mindy and create another search ad. And again, I'm doing the American Dream backpack and I want to create some keywords here. So maybe school, maybe trendy backpacks. Okay. And then create some more headlines that I think are going to be helpful for Mindy. So find your perfect school backpack. Find your backpack for school. And maybe designed for students. Maybe backpacks designed for students. And maybe functional, stylish, and ready for college, or stylish backpacks for college. And then I put in some descriptions that I think might help Mindy to click on it and put those in and press continue. And so now if you go to my search ads, I now have 2 different search ads for Back to School Mindy. If I go back up to my campaign, I did create my ad groups. So I want to add another ad group. So if I go in here, I can create ad group. And I want to create one for Tom. So I'm going to say backpack and adventure and Tom. And as I said, I'll just keep it at a default 1 for now. And I had all of these keywords for him. So I'm going to click next. And I'll want to adjust my bids so that they are appropriate for each. So I want to just go in and adjust these as needed because I don't want to have it too high or too low. And so a few cents over is usually the best rule of thumb, but you can adjust these as you see what happens. So we're not going to know until we get our results how good our bids were. I want to do that 3.5. And I'm not doing a perfect amount here because I want to see, you know, what good results I might get and what bad results I might get because I want to see a good variety. So hopefully we'll see what happens. And I'll press continue. And now I'm creating a search ad for Tom. So again, the final URL is going to be that same landing page, the American Dream backpacks. And I'm going to want to create something relevant for him. So maybe adventure, pro backpack, and discover adventure backpacks. Maybe backpacks for work and adventure. Maybe backpacks for camping and hiking. And then I can add in some descriptions that I think could be relevant. And again, I'll want to adjust these as needed. So packed with features like a laptop sleeve, waterproof protection, and so I'll just kind of continue that. And now it's been added to my search ads. But I do want to create at least 2 search ads, so I can go back up and under back Adventure Tom, I can create one more search ad and just put this in here. So maybe travel, durable backpack, and some headlines such as your perfect backpack for work, durable, and maybe from work to hiking backpacks. And again, I'll just put in my descriptions, something that I think might match up to the keywords that Tom was entering. And then once I have all of my search ads ready to go, and I've used up all my budget for these search ads, I'm going to press Run Simulation, and we'll see what results I get. So after a few minutes, just be patient, you'll see your results for the first round. And here is an instruction video that walks you through it. But basically, if I scroll down, I'll be able to see results by clicking on each of the ads. If you're not seeing anything here on the left, then make sure you're viewing it in Chrome or Firefox. Don't view it on Edge because this will not be visible. So you'll be able to see it for each ad. And you'll see what the impressions were for each ad, the clicks and conversions and revenue. And you can actually look at each keyword and how successful they were. So for example, you might have trendy backpacks for college. We did have a 4.85% click-through rate. However, we had 0 conversions. And you might see, for example, some of them that had a lower click-through rate than others. And so you'll want to remember that for the next round because you'll want to adjust and kind of take away some keywords that were not really successful or relevant for your target personas. Now, as you can see, all of my keywords were excellent as far as bid quality, ad relevance, and page relevance. If you happen to have any that are only good or only fair, then you'll want to scroll down and follow the instructions and kind of best practices to improve it. So for example, if you had a low or good or fair bid quality, that might be that the suggested bid was, for example, 68 cents and you bid $2, or it was 68 cents and you bid 65 cents. So you want to make sure that you're kind of a few cents over. You could experiment and see if you can maybe even do 65 cents. It might still be okay. You could even experiment and see if you do just the exact suggested bid and see what happens. You know, we do have 10 rounds, so you can definitely experiment, trial and error, and see what happens, how you do your bid and how well it scores for the bid quality. The ad relevance, that had to do with my ads, so this text here that I had, and how it was relevant to the keywords that I had selected. So I was trying to include keywords that were in, you know, I can't see them here, but the keywords that we'd selected in our keyword planner. And then the page relevance, also again, tied to those keywords and the ad. Okay, so it wanted to see where the alignment was. And so looks like all of my keywords were all scoring excellent. So I can't really show you an example that was bad. But if they were, again, you would just read through these ones on the bottom and the tips that you have. And so what we will do in the next round is look at another product and see how we can create more ads and see which personas we want to target for that product. But also we want to optimize this campaign. So we want to see what keywords were good, what keywords were kind of falling short. Why did we have some that did not result in any conversions? How can we improve that? Maybe we don't want these keywords. Maybe we didn't have enough relevance and so forth. So we will want to kind of take some notes down because we're going to be optimizing this campaign and creating a new campaign in the next round. So stay tuned. I will see you in the next video whenever that's posted.